Hey everybody, welcome to more Political Excess. Today, let's take a look at another primary that's coming up this Tuesday, August 9th. Let's take a look at Minnesota. Let's get right into it and start in the U.S. House. There's not a lot of competitive districts, but in the first district, they are having a primary. However, they're also having the general election for the special election to replace Jim Hagedorn, who died earlier this year. So let's look a little closer into that. So on 538, the district is located here, the southern part of the state. Since redistricting, it got 1 point less Republican, but it's still highly favorable for them at R plus 14. So the candidates will be the same for this general election and the new primary to start the next term. And those candidates are, on the Republican side, Brad Finstad, former state representative, and on the Democratic side, Jeff Ettinger. He's a businessman from Hormel Foods. Back in 2020, Jim Hagedorn won this seat by a small margin of about 3 points, and he was under 50%. So we can go down to the polling here. There's a couple of them. And Brad Finstad is leading in both. The older one, the Democratic internal, that was only a 1 point lead for Finstad. The more recent poll, Survey USA, has Finstad up by 8. If we take a look at the market, we could see Republicans have a 95% favorability to win that seat. I do think Republicans are very likely to win it. It could be narrower. It could only be 3 or 4 points possibly. But my best guess would probably be somewhere between 5 and 7 points. So let's move on to the second district that has Democratic incumbent Angie Craig. And this will be a rematch as she will face Republican Tyler Kistner. Last election, Craig won by just over 3 points, also with under 50% of the vote. This is a competitive district, so it could go either way in the general. With the national environment, Republicans definitely want to pick this up, but the Democrats are certainly in position to be able to hold on to it by a few points. I'll scroll through the third and the fourth districts here. They're both solid blue, and I'm not aware of any potential upsets or competition in the primaries beyond token opposition. In the 5th district, I'll stop here as Ilhan Omar is facing a primary challenger. The one poll here shows her way up, and if we go to the market, she's in the mid to high 90s, so she's going to hold on to that seat. And in the fall, it's extremely blue. There's no way she could lose that race. And back to the 6th district, I will scroll through the rest of these. These are very likely to stay with the Republicans. Nothing to say about the primaries or the general. After November, Republicans will have either 4 or 5 out of the 8 House seats for Minnesota. So let's move on to the statewide races. There is no U.S. Senate election this year in Minnesota. So let's look at the biggest one, and that is for governor. Tim Walz, the Democrat, is running for re-election to a second term. Last time he won by over 11 points. So he will be tough to beat, but let's see who the Republicans have. The frontrunner is Scott Jensen, a doctor and former state senator. He got the backing from the party at the state convention, so he's nearly certain to be the nominee. He doesn't seem like a bad candidate, might be a good fit for Minnesota. Well, let's see what the polling says. Tim Walz does have a clear lead. It's not overwhelming. Scott Jensen is almost within striking distance. There's plenty of time for him to make a serious run at winning this, but right now, Tim Walz, I would say, is the clear favorite. And one other statewide race to take a look at is for Attorney General, where Democrat Keith Ellison, he's running for re-election. Last time he won by a relatively small margin of about 4 points. So Republicans think they can make a push, maybe this time with this environment, to take out Ellison. It does depend who the nominee is. Last time Doug Wardlow was the nominee, and he is running again. He's taking on Jim Schultz in the primary. So that one will be interesting to watch, as well as in the general. Ellison is definitely the favorite, but it's not out of the question Republicans could get lucky and at least get close, even if they're unable to win the seat. So anyway, that is a recap of the Minnesota primary. Let me know down below in the comments, which of these races are you most interested in? What do you think is going to happen? And if you enjoy this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.